kids. Right, I'm looking like a little bright, I think, here.
Yeah,
Do you agree?
that's the glow of awesome, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm seeing a lot of flickering here. It feels like a driver issue here. We've had this problem before, I think yesterday. Here we go. Let's turn down my brightness here a little bit. That's a little bit better. Well, good. We made it. I got 971 followers. We are like 29 away from that magic number 1,000.
Yeah.
And every one of those followers between now and 1,000, I'm going to give away a free copy of CodeRushed. So if you got code workers out there, just follow.
Roll up, you lucky people. Come claim your copy of CodeRushed.
And we'll do that. And with regards to that, I just realized I have been on vacation for about a week, and I've not gone in and looked at all the recent followers and sent them DMs. So I'll probably do that at the end of the show today. Okay, let's get out of this close-up view. We'll go a little bit further away. That looks a little bit better. Folks who are out there watching live now, you might want to give us some feedback on audio, video. How is Rory's sound? And
can you hear us both?
And I have a feeling Rory's got to be cranked up a little bit. I'm going to do that. And with that, let's go. Let's kind of say where we left off. I think I'm going to start with by checking in some code. Is what I'm going to do. This is the changes we made yesterday. There was let's see, let me switch over. Actually, let's go over to the Dungeons and Dragons view. And I think, are the dice going to work just flat out? Looks like they are. Okay. So there's the die roll right there. Let's go in and choose the battle axe. So it looks like I need to refresh the player data here. Let's send that over. Now that I've done that, try one more time. Switch to Ava, choose her greatsword. Okay, so yesterday, after you left, Rory, we got essentially it working with the exception of the greatsword wasn't appearing, and that was like it was like a small bug somewhere. I fixed that just shortly after the show. We ended the show. And so we're kind of good. Although if you remember the effect in the past, this effect was purple when it came up, and it is not purple. It's, I'm not sure what you want to call that. It's red, I guess, is what we would all agree upon if for those of us who have full color vision. I want to do, there was something I did last time that that solved this flickering on my machine. I know you guys cannot see it, but if I went into display settings, was that what settled it down? Nope, still flickering. I'm having some windows off screen just flicker. And my theory is it's related to this piece of software here. This is this thing I'm using temporarily to solve my my Logitech problems. I have to have this running while I'm streaming. It sucks up about 5% of my CPU, and I think it's related to the flickering that's going on here. So yeah, unfortunately, let me try one. I'm just going to move a monitor and hit apply and see what happens. See if that settles everything down. Oh, interesting. Oh yeah, it settled it for a second. Yeah, so I don't know if it's a driver issue, a video driver issue or what, but the flickering is it settled down yesterday during the show, and I forget what I did. I think what I did is I hit Window D, Command D. Should we try that? See how bad things get when I do that. Well, that looks like, did it work? Let's see. Let's bring back up Visual Studio. I think that settled everything down. Interesting. That's kind of an interesting thing. It looks like that's maybe something I'm going to have to do now before we start the show. So at any rate, I got it fixed. But if you remember what the original effect was that thing was in purple when it first came up. And so we got to we'll have to figure that. That's one of the problems we're going to have to figure out. we also have another problem with regards to the spells. And part of that, and I have to confess, the problem I'm about to describe is I think more of a problem of a failure of mine to correctly spec out the behavior I need and to really even understand it. So it's interesting. It's like, in some ways, I can think of amazing, fantastic things. And in other ways, I'm like, with this, like I seem to have trouble grasping it. Like this morning, I was thinking about multidimensional primes as I was waking up, right? And I was like, because prime, because prime, because think about it, right? I mean, prime numbers are
numbers divisible only by 1 and themselves.
Well, but prime numbers are really a big deal in two-dimensional space, right? They're essentially a representation of rectangles is what they are. And a prime number is a number that can only be represented by a rectangle that has a dimension of 1 on one of the sides, right? And so that's a prime number. For example, 5 is 1 times 5. I can't get to it with any other whole number factors, right? But prime numbers are grounded in two-dimensional space. Well, what happens if you go to three-dimensional space? What's the equivalent? Well, the equivalent is a number that has no factors that are 1, right? In other words, it's not going to be essentially, flat looking at it from any particular axis. Make sense so far?
Sure.
So the killer conclusion from multidimensional primes, though, is that the every number from 1 to the dimension we're looking at it squared. Oh no, I'm sorry. 2 raised to the power of the dimensions we're looking at. That's what it is. Every number is going to be a prime. And the first non-prime is going to be 2 raised to the power of the dimensions that we're looking at. So, for example, if we're looking at primes in two-dimensional space, the first non-prime is going to be 4, 2 raised to the 2 power. If we're looking at it in three-dimensional space, the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 are all three-dimensional primes until we get to the number 8. So I can conceive of this stuff, Rory, but I have no idea how to conceive of the problem I'm about to show you, at least the solution.
I suspect you've used a lot of your runtime on the multiple dimension primes.
It was about...
I'm only barely keeping up with you on that side of things.
It was 30 minutes, basically. So 8 is the first non-prime in the three-dimensional space for primes. So all the primes you know of are in two-dimensional space. So that means, so now we go to four-dimensional space. 2 to the 4th is, we're at 16. So that means the numbers 1 through 15 cannot be represented in a four-dimensional shape that has, a dimension along one of its axes that is greater than 1. I don't know. Yeah, let's get to the freaking code, kids. Let's do that. Let me just, since I did the Alt-D here, let me do that. And I'm noticing it's kind of quiet out here in the chat room, Rory. I'm like, we are apparently, let's double check that we are actually out there. I wonder if there's something amazing going on in the world right now that...
Why did nobody tell us, though?
Yeah, that's our thing. That's what we're doing. Okay, so... what else? What other news is going on here? Well, this morning I was working a little bit on PyroCat's opening. Still not done, but it is, there's all kinds of stuff going on. All kinds of pyrotechnics going on with PyroCat's fanfare. So hopefully we'll see PyroCat again because nothing would make me sadder than that. So here's the problem I've got, though. So let's switch over to me. And let's switch to, Melf's minute meteors. So we're going to do this. How many meters do I want to send? I'll send 2. So we've got a problem, is essentially, and the problem goes something like this. There are effects for the spell. In fact, I've got a notepad that I've got my notes on here. And let me bring this on screen here. And I've got some of my notes for kind of what I want to do today here. This is something we have to look at a little later. But but basically, when we cast a spell, there's the wind-up, which is kind of like the preparation for the spell being cast. There's perhaps a release effect component that we haven't really done yet. And there might be two of these. One if I score a hit, and the other if I release effect component for attacks that require rolls. Because sometimes spells don't require a roll. You can just do it and damage is occurring. Yeah. Right? And they have to do a saving throw instead. That require an attack roll. Right? So a release effect is one of the possibilities. And there might be a fizzle if I miss. So if I hit, there might be something else like that. Jetsom's out there. Looks like the sound video is still out of sync. Oh, man. That's not good.
It's maybe 0.2 of a second slower on the video. And that could be as a result of the post-processing that other window's doing.
Yeah.
One you mentioned there, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of where we're at on this. I can drop, let's see here, what can I do? The last time, the image adjustments, what's going on with image adjustments? No, I don't want that. I've got an advanced settings, no. There's some option in here to change the resolution. But I don't see what it is. I don't see that option here. See if I can make this any bigger. And see what we can figure out with this. I have this custom preset for, I don't care. I don't care. For streaming, which I can try that. And let's see if I think we did this yesterday, and the streaming preset was a little more in sync. Yeah, it looks like it's 0.2 of a second or 1/10 of a second. Still out of sync to me. Yeah. I'm super not happy with the Logitech Brio software guys. I'm really not. I feel like I want to talk to them. I want to sit them down and say, hey, let's see if we make this better. Pair coding time, says Angry Little Hamster. That's kind of fun. I didn't think about that. I could totally do something like that. Hold on a second.
I could take a holiday and you could pair program with yourself.
That's true. You could do that. That could maybe happen. I wonder what that would look like if we pair programmed with me. Let's see. I wonder how that would look. It's weird because I'm like actually trying to make this happen on my on here, and it's not doing it. I'm actually duplicating it down below to make that change, but it's not appearing. And let me see what I can do if I can transform, edit, transform. Well, let's try that. Nope. Weird. And I'm kind of also, the size is part of the problem here. Hold on a second. Let's do the size, make it 100 by 100. There we go. Starting to get something. It's up here. Interesting. I reversed it. Here we go. Here's my pair programming right here. It's a little mini me right there. And so that's what pair programming with me would look like. What do you think, Mark? All right, cool. Okay, so enough of that crazy and irresponsible stuff. Let's try to see, is not Jetsam throwing bombs at me? So we got a couple things. We have a wind-up casting component to it, which means I'm about to roll, okay? But we also have the spell is cast effect, okay? So we have a wind-up effect. We have the spell is cast. In other words, it is like right now, Melv's Meteors is cast, right? And so we've got this kind of spinning thing around me here. I'm going to,
ongoing effect during the duration of the spell.
Yeah. I'm going to just drop me down here a little bit and move me here so I'm fitting a little bit more inside of the spell effects. Yeah, so until the spell is done casting. So if we look at Melf's Meteors, that thing lasts about 10 minutes. And so if I add 10 minutes to the clock here, that should get rid of Melf's Meteors. There we go. It just went away. Okay? So we have the casting part. I think that's working. One thing to have a map could be to show players on the map and could be then a cast. Janiscu7 says. Yeah, you know, I decided not to do the map. I was going to build the map, and we just got a workaround for it, which is just a camera on a regular map, and we're going to move those pieces around. So that's what we do when we're playing the game. Janisco. Okay, so we have the spell is cast effect, and then we have this release effect, and
So is that chronologically not quite right? So you got your wind up first, then the release, and then the ongoing spell effect for the duration.
Oh yeah, you're right. Chronologically, that is incorrect. So we got the wind up. Now the thing about the wind up,
dispel as well, theoretically.
Yeah. Now the wind up, we also have here. The wind up gets removed if another. So the wind up, if another spell or weapon is selected. So in other words, the equivalent of this in, let's switch over to Ava.
It's like breaking concentration. It's your prep time.
Yeah. So if Ava says, I'm going to use the javelin, and she hasn't rolled yet, well, here, let's roll the attack roll. So there's the attack roll. And then when the dice stop rolling, the javelin goes down. So this is the wind-up part that we need to spell. Some spells need to do. And then, boom, comes down. Okay? Now, if she says, okay, I'm going to use my greatsword, and then later says, oh, no, wait, I want to use my battle axe, like that, then the greatsword has to remove itself. And that's what happens. But with spells, like if I say I want to cast Ray of Frost, that requires an attack. So this is my equivalent wind-up. If I switch to Chaos Bolt, this wind-up better go away. Let's see if it does. It kind of did. Part of it did, but not all of it did.
Yeah. It's certainly reduced.
It's a mess, Rory, is basically what we've got. It's a mess, and we're going to have to... I
like to think of it as being more part way there.
Yeah, this is my least favorite kind of programming. You know why? Because it's painstaking. We got to go down. We got to look at data. It's not exciting programming. It's my least favorite kind of thing to do. So we're gonna. That's kind of what we're gonna look at. And yeah, I'm what, about a week away from getting, maybe a week away. Sometime next week, I think I'll get the equipment I need to be able to switch to much faster, no delay on the video and audio. Time to build unit tests, Angry Little Hamster asks. Yeah, the problem with this is crazy, heavily UI centric. And we do have unit tests for a number of features, which we are testing. But the UI heavy stuff is often hard to do unit tests for. So I think what we're going to do, my strategy for solving this is to look at individual pieces, test each piece, get it to work, and then test all of them, work them all out. And if along the path we figure out a way to unit test it, then we'll do that. Got some pretty flowers growing over here, on my shoulder here. So we've already found one problem, which is if I do Ray of Frost, and then I switch to and now notice Ray of Frost, I still have Chaos Bolt going, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense. So we need a way to say, hey, look, we have for spells, I think have at least...
You know what it looks like? It looks like it's lifting off the most recent layer of the previous wind-up and not all of the layers.
Yeah. I think there's definitely something there. of effects. So spells have 3 different kinds of effects. They have a wind up or casting component effect. Yeah, and we have a just the spell is cast effect. We have that. And I think that part of the problem is we don't have a sense of that in our data. So if I bring up our data for this and we look at our spell effects here, we've got Chaos Bolt. We have nothing that says Chaos. Here we have nothing that says Chaos Bolt is an attack. But in our spells, if we go to Chaos Bolt, there it is right there. Somewhere in here we have data that tells us, oh yeah, this is an attack. One of the pieces is right here. It's the attack type. It's a ranged attack, like that. And I think there might be something else in here that is a clue. It's the die string is kind of a clue as well. Is it or not? What about this one? Necrotic, Circle of Death. What's going on with this? It doesn't say it's ranged. Sphere of energy ripples out. Each creature in the area must make a constitutional saving throw. So this requires a saving throw. So that's okay. In fact, actually saving throw here tells me what the saving throw is for it. So if I don't have something that has an attack type or saving throw, what is that thing? Body becomes blurred. Any creature has disadvantage on attack rolls. Okay. All right. Okay. So that makes sense. So there's some spells that are kind of instantaneous. Well, blur is actually not. So blur is an effect that has a duration that lasts up to a minute as long as you're concentrating. There's no roll associated with it. So it just has a spell effect, is what it has. So the question is from the spell we can kind of get I guess part of the thing here is from the spell we can get a sense of what it has associated with it. Okay? The thing about Melf's minute meteors, let's go look at that. This is where the thing kind of starts to get a little crazy, is there are 2 versions of Melf's minute meteors. There's an initial casting, which has 1 effect on it. And let's go over here. You can see the code. Here's some of the code here. And there's a secondary casting that can happen later. As long as this first spell is still going, this second one is available. And we even wrote code in here to make this work. So this available when, it impacts, let's see if that's working now with our new version of this. Hold on a second. If we come in here and choose Melf's minute meteors, do we see, and we'll say 0 to start with. So we should see a bonus action showing up right here. And this is also broken. So let's make a note there that Melf's minute meteors, meteors bonus action is broken. So I want to go back to what Angry Little Hamster said, which is, how about some test cases, unit tests? And I think that this might be a good thing to test, create a test case for, is this one right here, to get that secondary, to see if that secondary one is created. But the bonus action should come, and this should go away right here. If I'm looking at the code right, the code says available when the Melf meteor count is 0 or Melf meteor count is null, meaning we haven't cast the spell yet.
Here's a question though. How does the system know the distinction between something being a default attack that's available and a bonus action? Where's the distinction there? Because is it not possible the UI is actually just replacing one with the other?
Well, that might be true, but this should be the thing that nails it right here, the bonus action. I'm almost interested in fixing this first because we just kind of stumbled on it, and I want to take a look at this. So let's see if we can figure out that, Melf's minute meteors. The first thing to check is, are we getting 2 Melf's minute meteors in here? Is I think the first thing. I guess we could start
check
setting.
that the data is loading correctly, essentially.
Yeah, so let's set a breakpoint here. Let's reinitialize our data. Get to that breakpoint. And what's our spell effect name right here? Firebolt. We want to basically set a conditional breakpoint here. When that dot starts with Melf, like that. And close that and run it. And there we go. We got 1 Melf's minute meteors. I just cleared the breakpoint. Darn it. I think I cleared my condition too, or no? Yeah, I did. Okay, one more time. And let's see if we hit it a second time. We do get, or do we? No, we don't. We only get it once. Okay, so there's problem 1. One more time. Initialize player data. And here's number 1. And just to confirm, I'm going to hit run, and we never come back, do we? Yeah, okay.
Okay, well, that's a very good reason for it not producing a second one.
Yeah, so let's figure out that. Let's figure out what's going on here. Let's get out of here. I'm going to hit Shift F11 to get out of here. What are we doing here? Get all for the spell name. Spell effects. Oh, those are the spell effects. From item spell effect. Hold on. Spell. Ooh, this could be our problem. This could totally be our problem. That's our problem right there. Okay, so hold on. I'll get us out of this. I just need to get back to the breakpoint. Oh, look out. It's Michael Jolly.
Michael Jolly.
Hope he doesn't come back. Oh no, he's coming back. He's coming back. He's coming back. Look out, look out. No, no, no. Not of my dog. All over.
Taco everywhere.
It's not a problem. It's an opportunity. Always. Okay. So here's my deal. Get. I've got a get in all spells, but I've also got a. I've got a get all. Is what I have, and that's what I really want to use. And this is going to be a T list of what's on the clipboard, which is going to be a list of spells, like that. And so if we come down and step down into this now, what? Are you serious? Oh, it's already defined the scope. Oh, okay. Well, I'm getting them down here. But spell effect name, player. Do I have the player already here? I do. So I'm just going to do this instead. I get that up at the top. And now let's come down in here like this. And now...
2.
Yeah, I got 2.
Which is
And now I want to do a for each here. Is what I want to do. I want to kill that. Then I want to take all of this and move it inside. I think it's just that. And then the DTO, hold on. Add spell shortcuts. Shortcut DTO. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Okay. And then, yeah, and then return results. I think that's it. I think that's going to be the fix. Let's just run it and see what happens. No, 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 no. Spell.name. Wait, is it spell is null? No, 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 no. Why is that? Spells count. Did we I think this is just edit and continue. Right? Let's see what the second one is. Make sure. Yeah, it's edit and continue is the problem here, kids. So let's come back up here. See if we can do this. Okay, there we go. A little happier. And then run. Okay, and now with that done, change over to me, and then now start this and say, okay, 0. Oh, I get a second one, but it's in the wrong place.
Right, so it's just an allocation of where should this data be put.
Kind of. It's the spell casting time is the problem on that second one. We still have that breakpoint there. Let's go ahead and do a initialize player data again and figure out what's going on with the spell casting time. Get to our breakpoint. There it is right there. So there's my 2 MILFs, spells. Set spell casting time. Okay. Why is that different? There's 2 different ones in here. There's the first one. Casting time is set to 1 action for the first one. Let's set a breakpoint here and just run to get to this second one. And what's our casting time here? Casting time here is 1 bonus action. So that should be correct. Let's go in here and let's see what's going on here. Oh, I wanted to step into that. Hold on. F11. There. So I'm setting the time to be at 1 BA, 1 bonus action right there in the DTO. Is that where I want to do add spell shortcuts? What's going on in add spell shortcuts? This is where we actually create them based on the DTO. So we're using this other code that we have. Okay, so let's step into this. I really want to get to the add from spell. Right down here is where I want to get to. Okay, here we go. That shortcut DTO. This first one is going to have 1A as the casting time, I think. Or the turn time. Is that what it's called? Time is 1 BA. Okay, so it's 1 BA for this one. All right, so here we go from action. So let's go in here. And get turn part is here. This is where I want to be next. And run to that. And then F11 into this. And here's where we do the opposite of this. It's equal to turn part 1 bonus action. That looks correct to me. This thing isn't changed elsewhere, is it? Just hitting tab key on here to see where else we are in the code. There's an add spell call here. That looks slightly worrisome. I don't know when that's called in this process. There's the initialization right there. That one shouldn't bother us. And I think that's it. Just references, and then we're back. Interesting. Okay. Well. Oh, yeah, here, look at this. Add spell. That's where we call that second piece. And the casting time here, spell is null. Oh, wait, hold on a second. We clone the spell. What's this spell casting time at? It is 1 action. We're doing add spell, but passing in the wrong spell. Is that what's happening? The shortcut DTO and the spell are not the same. Okay, hold on. From spell is passing the spell in here. Add spell shortcuts. I think my problem is this. Okay, I think I know what the solution is. Let's get out of here and come out to here. I'm going to clear that for now. I'm going to clear this for now. Let's get out. Essentially where I want to be. Here, what I think I want to do, since we are already iterating through the numerous spells, I don't need to send it in again here. I just need to create a new list of spells is what I need to do, like that. And we're going to say one spell, like this. And then I'm going to say one spell dot add spell, like that. And then I'm going to send one spell in here, is what I'm going to do. Now, this is, if I clear this and I run it, I think this has got a shot of before this action interrupted. Okay, we've got catches here. I think it's just because I had that for so long. All right, so one more time. Initialize player data. Okay, and let's go down to here. Let's jump inside. Let's go down to here. That's where I'm hitting. Let's go inside and let's look at here. What's our turn? Is that what it's called? Cast it. What is this? Player action shortcut. Its part is an action. This is the first one, I believe, which is correct for that to be an action. So let's set a breakpoint there and run till we get to the next one. And now come back out of here. Now we should see a bonus action here.
And we do. There we go, part bonus action.
Okay, now let's make sure it doesn't get destroyed here in this call to add spell. Its casting time is one bonus action, so the part is still a bonus action. Sweet. Good. I think that might have fixed it. Let's run it. Clear the breakpoint, run it. And let's go switch over to Merkin. Let's bring this up. And now when I click on this, 0, I get a second one. Wait, it's still in the wrong place. Does that make sense? Did I fix it after I stepped through it? I don't think so. I thought I stepped through it after and saw the fix. Let's try one more time. I think I'm going to not see any change. And then switch over. Yeah, it's in the same place. That's weird. Well, let's try again here. Spell effect.name starts with Melf. Do conditional breakpoint. How was your day yesterday, Rory? And your day today?
My day. It's not too bad. Not too bad. It's,
That's British for horrific. Horrific stuff happened to Rory today. Okay, so here we go. Add spell shortcuts. Let's jump in again. What is going on? I thought let's do this. Let's actually get out of here. And set a breakpoint here. Run one more time. This should now take results to 2, and look at those 2 individual shortcuts and make sure those are correct with regards to the time here. The part here is an action for that was I think the first one, and the second one, the part is a bonus action. So odd and working correctly.
data is being set correctly. We're just not reacting correctly to that data.
Feels like that might be the case. So let's come out of here and find out why that's the case. Last shortcuts are these 2. Then we come in and last shortcuts are this. So now we're adding the wind-up effects to those. And many spell effects are in here? Oh, there's 6. So let's jump down to here and get through all those spell effects. And then we're going to say our last shortcuts still have 2, and the second one still has a bonus action for the part. Yes, it does. Well, okay. So where's the problem is now the question. All shortcuts, 17, that's the last one. Its part is a bonus action, melts minute meteors. Okay. Well, it seems like we have a problem in another place, another really bizarre place. Let's say add shortcuts for player. Let's set a breakpoint here and run it. And who's the player here? Player.name. Let's just do this. Let's make it conditional. And we're going to say when player.name starts with M and run it. And now we've got, let's see, close that. Well, we're not actually getting in here. Why is that happening? We're just running? Try one more time. Initialize player data. Doesn't make sense at all. We should hit that breakpoint. Okay. So let's look at our call stack a second. Are we actually hitting this before we're adding the other pieces? Let's see what happens here. Player known spells, add spell shortcuts. Oh wait. Yes, I'm sorry, I was in the wrong place here. I don't want to add shortcuts for. That's private. I'm in the wrong place. Here. I want to set a breakpoint here. And have I done that already? Wait, is that my problem? No, that doesn't make sense either. Doesn't make sense that this would be hit before the other one. This is hit early. This is hit directly out of load data. This is not, let's see, get, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the one that's called. Although tab to next reference says I got nothing for that. What about this one? We're in test case land. Just in test case land for that one. And also test case land. Wait, what's this one? Yeah, that's also okay. All shortcuts. Who's playing with that space? Well, I do have action shortcuts here. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Select player shortcut. That's by the shortcut name. That's for remote control of it. Get action shortcut by the tag. That makes sense. Activate shortcut. That's remote. Add shortcut buttons. All right. Here is where I think we got the problem. I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's come in.
I mean, it's definitely buttons that we're having an issue with. They're not being present and being present in different places. So it's worth knowing what it is we're going to iterate through when we do that.
Whoa. No. Will, look what you're doing. Lighting my show on fire. No is not in his vocabulary. He answers all questions with yes. Try it. Ask him if no is in his vocabulary. Will? Will, is no in your vocabulary? Will?
No!
Will, is no in your vocabulary?
Don't ask!
Will, is no in your vocabulary?
Nothing.
Okay. Apparently not. All right, let's go back over to what we were doing. Thanks, Will, for showing up. It's always good to... I like the little cranking noise, by the way, as that thing goes away. It's a nice little bit there. All right. Okay, so we are at shortcuts. This is not where we want to be. Clear that breakpoint, hit run. Whoops, not 6. 6 doesn't do anything, hit run. And, oh, it's when I switch to the player, that's when it adds it? Okay. So my part here is action. I don't care about that. Player ID is 2. I think that's me. Now we're in bonus action. 33 of these in here. Let's see what happens here. Boom, boom, boom. We got 1. It better be Melf's Minute Meteors. It is. It's a bonus action. It's visible. And then what are we doing here? We're going to add it. Okay.
That seems accurate, good, and correct. So why
I know.
not the working?
Why are we not seeing it? Is our question. It could be, there could be another trick going on here. Let's do this. If the bonus, if the turn part, if part is equal, let's try this. Build
Is
shortcut
something
button.
crazy like the stack panel that we're adding them to just isn't visible, or a parent of it isn't?
No, I think what it is, I'm actually down to, I think what it might be now is, so we'll do one more time here. Let me try sending 2 out. Yeah, if I do 2, it still doesn't create the second one, and it totally should. I think the problem is, what was that just happened? Okay, hold on. Bring this over. I think the problem is with the, it might be in here, and then the available win
Oh, okay.
part is what it might, where it might be.
So it's added, but because it's not, quote, available, it decides to hide itself again.
Yeah, although we could test it now that I realize it, we can test it. If we click this again, we're going to see if it's the original one. Oh yeah, it's the second one. Why?
So we've removed the first and added the second to a strange location?
It doesn't make sense. It's totally should be in the bonus action section, not in the action section. Oh wait, no, wait, I'm wrong. I misread this. I thought it was something else. This is break concentration. This is the original. It's not enabling the second one, is the deal. So we got to go figure out.
Asking you if you want to cancel your first one
Yeah.
in favor of doing your first one again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, in fact, that question should be like this should instead be you're already casting Melf's Meteors, or it should do nothing right here. I almost want to venture off and fix this one right here. Break concentration. Let's go look at that one because that I think is going to be a fast one to fix. Here, right here is where I want to be. Let's try one more time. Let's do this here. And we want to basically be...
So this is a conditional if the concentrated spell is the same as the one we're about to do.
Yeah, if concentrated name is equal to spell name, then we're like done and out. Then I think we can just get out. I could maybe put a to-do here that says to-do provide feedback that we are already casting this spell and it has this much time left. There we go.
Are there any spells that would make sense to deliberately restart?
No, not that I know of. No, it would not make sense to do that. So I'm going to do that. So that fixes that bug. So now clicking this does nothing because it's already cast. I just need to put feedback somewhere here on the screen. So we need to build that. That's like a to-do here. But then now the thing is now that we've cast this, why isn't this bonus action being shown? So that's what we need to figure out.
but the data for that secondary bonus action is making its way all the way into the correct collection. It's getting supposedly acted on, supposedly added to the right stack panel as a shortcut. So.
Yeah, I believe all that is true. So now what we need to do is go. What was interesting is we had a bug that was hiding this bug, right? We were initially setting the casting time to actions all the way across, and we thought that was the thing that was going to fix this.
Which at one point did have the second one appearing in the actions.
No, it did not. It was the first one still appeared. I thought it was the second one, but it wasn't. It was actually the first.
I thought at one point we had two of them, two buttons with the same text on.
Oh, was that today? I feel like that was yesterday that might have happened, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I have not. I don't think we've seen that today, and if we have, I'm going completely insane, and unfortunately, that's bad news for everybody. Okay, so I think we want to be in expressions. Do we want to be in expressions, or do we want to be in the spells? Hold on. Let's look at this. Available when. Let's go look at available when.
Got to go and test available when, hasn't it?
Yeah, let's go. I'm going to search for this because through the entire solution and see what we have here. Excuse me. Let's see here. Here we go. So set shortcut visibility. Here's one of them. Let's see what happens here when we cast this. Well, now we can't cast it because we can't restart it here. Let's just click here, go back over here. Now, just clicking this did nothing. Yeah, I can't even select it because it's cast already. What's interesting is when I click on these, I would expect that this thing would be called. Player game state changed. Well, what's going on there? Why isn't this being fired? I'm assuming it should be fired. It's not being fired when we click on these. Now, if I do this, hold on, it gets called. If it gets called, then that means I can go back to Merkin and we'll see it in the bonus actions. We don't see it in the bonus actions. And, okay, so let's at least get in here and see why that's not working. Run. That's 4 panels. Come back over here, Merkin. Okay, first one is going to be the actions. The second is going to be the bonus actions. So this one, do I have a name in here? Yeah, this is the bonus actions right here. How many children do we have in this panel? Counts as 2. All right, so let's go in and look through that. First UI element is here. If UI element is a shortcut panel, no, it's not. Here we go. Now we've got a shortcut panel. That means we've got a shortcut. And now if we've got a shortcut, here we go. Look at this. Available when. Melt meteor count is greater than 0. Okay. Player. What's the shortcut ID? Let's see what player we come back with. Player. Name. Oh, it's down here, isn't it? Can I just type the letter N here? No, I can't. That's not. All right, I got to come in and add watch here. Player.name. Okay, so it's the right character. Good.
So
Now we want to.
this is it. This is the critical thing. Is it available? Does it think it's available?
Yeah. So now let's go into player. There's also something in here in the watch here. Player.state. I think. Well, I guess I could say get state. I think it's privately held here, and the piece I want to pass into it is this guy right. This guy right here. Melt meteor count. Ah, really? Did I lose get state because I switched apps? Get state. Oops. Quotes. 0.
Well, that explains it not being allowed. Question is,
Yeah.
why is it 0 rather than the number that you cast?
Yeah. Let's. I want to look at this code actually.
You've got a bug in sets then.
On cast. Yeah, I think there's a bug here. I need to set. Oh wait, no, wait. On casting, here we go. On casting, if spell slot level is greater than 3, there. Otherwise, set melt meteor count. So on casting, melt meteor count should be set to 6. Flat out, that should be set. Melt meteor count should be set to 6, or whatever the slot level it is. If I'm casting it at greater than spell slot level 3. So we need to check this on casting. We need to go into on casting on this is what we need to do. So I've got available when on casting. This is the piece I want to look at right here. Well, here's trigger on casting right there. Okay, let's set a breakpoint there. Let's come back, reset everything. Okay, Melf's minute meteors. All right, now we're on casting, and here it is right here. Set this piece. This is all going to be in here. Now this is going to call the set function, which is here. We built this on the show. It's so funny. It's like, you might be looking at this thinking, wow, this is like a crazy amount of complexity just to get these Dungeons and Dragons, things going.
It's a crazy amount of flexibility is what it is.
Yeah, that's really what it is, right? Because we've got it's running code from the spreadsheet is what it's doing right now. So let's run it. And now we're inside of here. And so we've got args that are coming in here to the set. So we're going to set num melt meteors to send. I don't care about that one. So I'm going to just hit run until we get to the next one. What's this one going to be? Melt meteor count. Setting it to 0. What?
Because arg's not carried incorrectly? That's very weird.
That doesn't quite make sense to me. Because I think we're on this line of code right here. Because there's nothing else in here that's going on. Interesting. Okay, so let's.
No path that should allow for that to be 0.
Yeah. Let's do this. I want to. I'm going to jump out of here. Get out 1. Oh, I'm all the way out here. I had Shift F11 and I got to here. Oh no, because I got to this breakpoint. Never mind. Okay, so let's continue to get out of here. And now I'm in a different space, not where I wanted to be. The state changed. I'm just hitting Shift F11, Shift F11. This is not going to get me out, is it? Because I was in another space and then I hit there. Now I'm just in the event triggering locations. Hold on, here. I wanted to see what's going on here with our args. Melt meter count to 0. Here we go. Anthony Pieria, 88, is now following. Anthony, after the show, I'm going to send you a DM, and you can get yourself a free copy of CodeRushed for the follow. Thanks so much. Tell your friends. Okay. And I just want to say I've got kids in the background in case you're like, wait, what's going on? I got kids downstairs, and those kids are loud kids. Yeah, when I have some time, could I explain the running of expressions from an Excel table without recompiling? Yeah, I can do it. Sounds like a party at the Miller household. Yeah, we've got a pretty open house, and every once in a while we say, you got kids, bring them over. And people with kids, they're like, oh, you bet, fools. So let's see. Evaluate function is here. And what I kind of want to get to here, I want to get to the line of code that we're at. I want to see if I can get, there's a whole bunch of regular expressions in here. So we were using an expression evaluator, angry little hamster. And we're loading the data in, and we're throwing the data at the expression evaluator. So that's what's happening here. What I'm not getting here, though, is how that arg, that second arg is 0, and what line of code we're in. Let me bring up the call stack here and see what we're coming from. We're coming from this do here, which is evaluating the script. Look at that. Where's it getting that line of code from? Hold on.
Is this just a matter of you haven't saved the latest version of something locally?
No, this is coming from another place. Where's it coming from? On dispel.
There you go. On dispel. Why is it dispelling it? It should last 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's a really good question. That's a really, really good question. Why is that the case?
Is that the only place that's happening, or are we assuming?
Trigger dispel. On dispel. Why are we triggering it? Why are we triggering it? The alarm, duration expired. Really? On the casted spell, which is melts minute meteors? Why is that expiring? Let's set a breakpoint here and just run it. And let's clear that down. What are we doing now? We're in the set function again. Now we're setting it to 6. I'm curious about that dispel. Okay.
Is this because the second time you're pushing the button, which normally we expect the code to say, no, you can't do that because you're already doing it, but it just returned from the function. Did it stop it from continuing? Or did it effectively dispel the first copy of it, only to then call it again?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think that's what happened. I think there's something else curious going on about the dispel call. Let's go back over here. I've just reset everything. I'm going to click on this again. And trigger on casting is here. So the on casting is that big thing. And I've got the breakpoint on dispel, I'm pretty sure. Is it in the same file? Dispel. Maybe I missed it. Let's search for dispel. Whoops. Let's just look for on dispel. Here we go. Maybe I don't have that breakpoint there. Okay, run it and evaluate. So here we're doing the set. Number meters send. Okay, good. Run again. How many meteors? I'll say 1. And now we're going to say set the args. Melt meter count to 6. So now we're casting it. That's good. But the other thing that we need to do down here is where we should be calling that. We should hit down here because that's not a property or a field. And this should trigger a state change event. There it is right there. So now we've added a new state, and we've got a melt meteor count of 6. Now meters to send is 1. This is all looking good.
Exactly the way it should be.
State change. This should trigger the event. Let's get out of here. Shift F11. and F11. Do we got any listeners? We do. And let's go into that. And let's get out of that. Whoops, we're just getting more event args there. Player, setting the player. And let's get into that. And do we have a listener here? We do. Set shortcut visibility. What's going on? It all should freaking work. And so there's our actions. This is the next one we want to step into. What do we got? Nope, nothing for the first one, but the second one, oh, what's going to happen? And now we have a true. Excellent, 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 excellent. Let's mark this, get the CodeRushed guys out here looking at that. Stepping through code. Whoops, I said stepping through COD. Anyway, that's going to send a thing out to the CodeRushed team, and they're going to take a look at this. Okay, and now let's see here. Player action shortcut is there, and available when is that. Melt meteor count, we've already seen that.
But we've not gone through that dispel phase.
Right.
It should still be 6.
Yeah, it should be good. In fact, let's go in here. I'm noticing some weird flickering here. Add player variable. Yeah, weird flickering on the screen here. Oh, it returns
The
true.
result of true, so it was greater than 0. So this time through, it's passing.
What is that? I don't even understand. How is it possible?
Everything is still perfect up until this moment in time.
So we're coming down here.
Continue a bit more.
We're going to set its visibility to visible. Okay. And now what? I don't even get it. What, does it now change?
All I can imagine is that it's like you were saying, the duration is not being honored somehow. Somehow it's not lasting 10 minutes and the dispel kicks in and then just sets it right back to 0, which hides it immediately.
Spell Deister. We don't need that. I'm going to clear the breakpoint. Let's run it. Set player state. Whoa, 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 whoa. Melt meteor. Wait, is this melt meteors descend?
Yeah.
Is what this is? My flickering is this flickering thing has happened again. And it's now happening with my pop-up windows. And is it really going to be cleared by, hold on, bear with me, kids. I hit Windows D. Windows D is not working. That's weird. All right, I wonder if it's because I'm in a breakpoint here is what it is. All right, let's come in here and let's say, yeah, look at that. Can you guys see this? I'm wondering if you can see this on the flickering as well.
Did not see anything on the stream regarding flickering at the moment.
Oh, it's not. It's only flickering on the monitor on the stream. It's actually, well, it's kind of doing a weird thing. I'm seeing what, I'm watching the stream now, so I can actually use the stream to figure this out. I wanted to get into
weird.
add watch.
That's failing to paint the context menu over the top of the code properly.
Yeah. And the property
And
name,
now,
num meteors to send, that's still different. That's okay. I'm going to just run. And there, yeah, it was because it was in a breakpoint. Yeah. So bear with me while I bring everything back. And let's go look at this guy. No, still not there.
How?
I think the dispel is getting kicked in, is what I think.
Have you moved the stack panel? Is it at the bottom of the screen or something really crazy like that?
Nah, I don't know. I think I'm like still, this is like fun, isn't it? The downside to incredibly flexible code are debugging sessions like this sometimes. That's kind of what I think we're looking at here. Angry Little Hamster says, need a be right back command. What is that? Tell me about that, Angry Little Hamster. Codebase Alpha's in the house, too. We were stepping through code, and I think Codebase Alpha didn't get their fanfare, which is always fun. Nice. Let's go figure out dispel. Is on dispel called? Is that my problem? That's not where I want to be. Let's look again. Dispel. And well, I can find it through here. Frackberg wanted to pop in for a quick drowning attempt on CodeRushed. Busy day today. Looks like we have broken the connection here, the signal arc connection, Frackberg, but here's your drowning attempt. I think I'm going to restart it.
Skype still. Oh, there we go. I see stream.
Wow. Looks like we're back. Wow. That was super interesting, kids. I went down to 0 kilobytes per second upload speed. What's going on here? What's my casted spell? Looks like it is, looks like that's Melf. Melf's Minute Meteors is calling dispel on this. That's for duration expired though. Hold on, let me run it. Trigger dispel. Okay, that breakpoint's coming and hitting correctly. So one more time.
Check out you don't hit the icebergs that control our internet.
Yeah, that's right. What'd you do, Frackberg? It's your fault. Rory, I'm like flabbergasted in terms of what's happening on this thing.
It's a little crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, we stepped through the code. It all was good in the code, and doesn't make any sense. All right, one more time. Do it again here. Trigger on casting. So my on casting does this. After I do this, we should see that the player data, what we should do, whoa. How do we get here?
That's a good question. And the time of it being cast is pretty much, the dawn of time.
Yeah, so what's my call stack here? It's the fire alarm.
So here's an interesting question. When you hit the player info or whatever the button is to sort of reinitialize things, does everything get wiped? Do we actually have a start? Or do alarms designed to kill Melf's meteors from a previous instance survive?
Yeah, that might be the case. Let's go take a look at that.
I'm trying to dispel things we did 10 minutes ago, even though we just started them now.
Yeah, interesting. Let's take a look at that. So let's go find initialize player data. There. And let's set a breakpoint here. Let's click the button, get to the breakpoint. Did I click it? Oh, initialize active player data. That's maybe not where I wanted to be. Hold on. sorry, initialize. I think it's got btn. There it is right there in front of it. That's where I wanted to be. Breakpoint. Click it. Okay, so where are our alarms? What do we got here? Spell expired. Where are we getting these? The spells. I think it's in game is where it is. I'm trying to just, I thought it was here, but now I don't think so anymore. Maybe I want to do something like this. Clear all alarms. Let's just do that. And let's go add that. And somewhere in here, I've got like a time clock, as I recall. Got a time clock here. And create alarm is here. So I want to come in and say, let's go down to where we were. This, and I think we're going to say clear all alarms. I think I'm going to do that. Kind of working my way down. And let's go declare that. And now I want to say alarms. I'll just do this. And is that going to be enough to clean this up? And I think the answer is yes. I'm just thinking about...
The difficulty is that even if we had alarms from, let's say, 10 minutes ago, that in a previous iteration, because we haven't yet restarted them, they're surviving somehow. Surely it's only as they expire that this should be happening. It's very coincidental that should happen every time we go through this before we hit the end.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's like, but I did want to follow your logic in here and add the, so at least we eliminate that. I think we're going to still see the same problem.
We have found another edge case, perhaps, that has been plugged by doing this.
Yeah. So let's see here. Let's just do this. There's that. Trigger on casting. So we're going to get that. Set 1. We don't have the dispel clicking in that time, but we should have seen this bonus action come in here. We stepped through code before that showed that that was going to be, that was all going to be good here. Let's go look at, let's go see what Code Places does for us here in terms of places we've worked on here. Activate shortcut, no. I thought it was in this place here. Add shortcuts 4, no.
You see, on this particular cycle, we've seen everything get set correctly, and because we haven't hit the dispel, we are believing that it should not have been set to a bad value. Can we look at the live, not so much the XAML, but the structure of the UI and prove here is the stack panel, it definitely has a thing in it, and that thing is, quote, visible?
Yeah, we can do that. Let's see, it's in debugging. The option is it general? Somewhere in here, enable preview selected elements in live visual tree, show runtime tools in application. Well, I guess we just, well, we can do that. All right, let's do that. And then we have this and go to live visual tree. Is that what I want to do? Or no, I want to do the find. Enable selection. And I think it's the parent. I think it's the parent to this one is what I think it is. And
SP bonus actions live player, which
yeah,
does in fact have the bonus actions text in it, has a stack panel in it, which has a temp button in it only, alongside a red rectangle.
What are the properties of the button? Yeah, there it is. So the answer is it's there. And this is, it says it's a button, but the type of this is actually not a button. The type of it, it's interesting. Are these going to do this shortcut panel? Or I say it's a button, but I thought I thought that we were adding a special kind of, so the shortcut panel has a property called shortcut, which is not showing up here, I guess.
You note it's there in the top section underneath local.
Oh, there it is right there. Oh, you're right. Cool, sweet. So shortcut is here.
Panel has got the shortcut.
Okay, so here, the shortcut, this has got the shortcut, and the part is bonus action, which is what we're expecting it to be. And the visibility, the question is, why are we not bonus actions active player? Let's hit tab key here. Set shortcut visibility. Why are we not coming in here? Is my question. That's like my question. Why are we not getting there? Let's one more time. Initialize player data. Clear all alarms. Oh, that's it. It didn't continue. Sometimes that didn't continue doesn't like the changes we make. So I'm just going to kill it and restart it. Angry little hamster's got a meeting, got to step out. Happy coding. It's always my fault. Ask my wife, says Frackberg. Yeah. Well, Bennett says, next time look out for icebergs. This is Watch Mark Try to Find a Very Elusive Bug. That's the name of this show. Okay, so I'm just going to run here because we just reset, or we just started for the first time, rather. And initialize the player data. And when that's done, we're going to see the names of the players show up here. Taking a long time. Are we at a breakpoint? There we go. Okay, run. And let's do this. And we've got trigger on casting. And when we do that, that's going to, we should also set a breakpoint in, let's turn off the live visual tree. We need to set a breakpoint in character when the state is changed, which is here in set state. I want to set, just look at what's happening here. I'm going to run, and we're going to say, let's send one meteor across. And so we're going to set num melt meteors ascend is set to 1. And interestingly, we didn't get the other option set, and we're here in set shortcut visibility. Oh, that's because of the first change. That's okay. And run. And now the second one is melt meteor count goes to 6. Run. And now we're setting it. And this time, I feel like if we come in here and look at it, it's going to be visible. We go into its children. And what do I have to do here? I think I'm going to have to add watch here. Yeah, because it's an enumerable, I think. Let's go to children. And let's see what we got there. And I guess I'm going to have to come in and say children of 0. And it's a text block. Let's try children of 1. That's the shortcut panel. And it's visibility. Dot visibility. It's visible. Okay, so let's keep running. Whoa, and here we set it to 0. Okay, melt meteor count goes to 0.
This is a fresh run now. There can't be any previous alarms, not just because of the code we added, but because we have never done this before in this session. So this is not a valid dispel of any kind.
Yeah, I would agree. Hold on. Trigger cast. Wait, we're in the cast? On casting. Let's look at this data. Okay. I don't get this at all.
Is there any child piece of script referred to by this script which might have an unintended consequence of setting to 0?
I don't think so. Let's look at the call stack here. We're in the offset function is where we are. Hold on. Melf meteor count. Whoa, how did Valuant get to be -6?
That's a little crazy.
Hold on. Hold on, wait. I think I know where we are. Let's go look at this code here. Here's my problem. I think the spell slot level,
Oh, spell slot level is 0,
well, if
-3,
it's 0, it would still get,
-6.
it would still
That's
get
what does
here.
it.
It's like it's as if this code is being executed, but spell slot level, yeah.
Position not being evaluated correctly.
Why
Have
is
we got
that?
an invert? Oh, because it's just going to take it and use it. How is if implemented? Is that some code we have had to write, or is that just implemented by virtue of the library you're using?
The library we're using is implementing this, and I just assumed this was all working. I'm also curious as to why the spell slot level is where it is. Let's see here. Evaluator. I think there's a thing in here called variables. And in here, there's a casted spell. And the spell slot level is 3. So the evaluation of spell _ spell slot level should be, this should be false.
Yeah.
Which means we should not execute this line of code.
Where does spell slot level come from? Is that a piece of state?
Well, we just looked at it and it's correct. It's the spell slot level is correct. It is at spell slot level 3, so I don't even have to answer that question. I'm going to, the question though is, so the args1 is 0 minus num meteors descend. Num melf meteors descend. Where's that?
We've been setting that to 0 or 1, depending on what you call in the first part.
Wait, hold on. Here's my problem, I think. I think we're on cast, not on casting. I was looking over here, Rory, but I think we're over here. So on cast, num melf meteors descend. Hold on, let's look at this. Now I'm kind of reorienting myself here. So 0 minus num melf meteors descend. Let's go into player.
Well, we've seen num meteors descent being set to 0 quite a lot. We've been dismissing it so far.
Let's go players states. And the melf meteor count is 6, the num melt meteors descend is 1. So hold on a second here. The value double gets to -6. How do we get that? From this is 0 minus num melt meteors descend. How is num melt meteors descend is equal to 6, but even if I go in, I don't understand how we get to there from here. If player, we're gonna have to step into this. If player's state, let's do this, player.states. That's what I thought it was. Yeah, no IntelliSense for it, but it's there. Okay. Num melt meter descent is 1, melt meter count is 6. All right, that is looking correct to me. Let's get back up here to the top. I want to kind of step down through this. Uh-oh. Oh, because I'm in set state, I'm down in here. Okay. It wants to set melt meter count to 0. And let's, I don't want to do that. I want to.
Right, so but we no longer think that's an explicit statement on our part so much as it is due to a calculation that is resulting in 0.
Yeah, we're like here, and we got here. Existing raw, yeah, the value and yeah, this is Java 185 is following Java 185. After the show, I'm going to send you a whisper on Twitch, and that'll give you instructions for how you can get download instructions for a free copy of CodeRushed. Thanks for the follow. All right. Yeah, this show should be titled "Mark and Rory are just blown away by things that are not quite." When we get this, man, I'm gonna be like,
oh, yeah.
boom! You know, I'm gonna feel so good. I think if I get this, that would be awesome. So, so this is in a call to offset, and we've got 2 args going into it. It's 2 melt meteor count and 0 minus num melt meteors descend. So that is this.
That's that line there, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what is that supposed to do?
Num melt meteors descend is 1, is what's going on here. Do I have a bug here in the code? Let's see here. Maybe is that my problem in offset? Num melt meteors descend. So the value W here is -6, but it should be -1. Is it because I'm indexing the wrong one? 0 minus num, no, that looks correct.
So what if you just highlight, you can do a quick watch on evaluate object args1. It's kind of stupid in a sense because we already know that it should be popping out. Or is it
this one right here?
There's -6. That feels wrong.
It sure does. Let's add that to the watch. Let's just look at args of 1. Let's add that to the watch.
What if we do an evaluate of num melt meteors descend, and we can see the value there is 6. Sorry, it is 1. But if
I think you're saying get a state on that. Oh, you want to do
I want the evaluate to just evaluate the variable, the state variable, to prove that that's coming out with a 1 when it should.
Well,
this is the kind of point where we have to challenge all the really obvious assumptions that it should be. See, that's good. That's what it should be.
Yeah.
So how then? Okay, so next logical breakdown. This is even more silly. To do an evaluate of the string space 0 space -1.
Una momento. Hold on a second. Oh, I did a dock command. Oh, because I'm running like this, and it's not going to dock me. Hold on, Roy. I didn't hear the last thing you said to me. Say that again.
So we know that the evaluate function works on the variable, on the state, okay, and it will produce 1. What we don't knows, and this is ridiculous again, is what will be the what happens if you try to evaluate the string space 0 minus 1, which is what that should evaluate to.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're suggesting
Take
send.
all of that, replace the variable with the number 1, which again is
Yeah, I think that. Oh, there's no way to duplicate this, so I lose what's in the clipboard here. Let's come in. You're suggesting just do this? Yeah, this is going to be. This is clearly. This has to
There's
work.
no
Otherwise,
way it
gravity
should.
fails. Yeah. So there's a -6 there as well. Is the
right. But what I'm suggesting is to remove. So edit your expression there that you're evaluating. Take out the num melts meteors descend and put the number 1 in its place.
Oh, I see.
So that work. Okay, that's literally insane. Part
Yeah.
1 works, part 2 works, but when you use them in conjunction together, they fail and the universe falls apart.
Yeah, we could set a breakpoint in the get, what is it, character property. We can set a breakpoint here in the get value. And I wonder if we can trigger this by coming in and refreshing this. Wait, not there. This one. If I refresh this, can I trigger that breakpoint? I can't tell if it's going to do it or not. It looks like it's not. No, it just reevaluated without getting the breakpoint there. I want to go back in time and space is what I want to do. So I think what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to not change the state. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to basically say, hey, let's jump to here, get out. And now let's come back up to the top here and try it again. And so player, let's just verify we've got the right player. We do have player.name in here. Let's look at player.name. Just want to make sure my player is correct. Yep, it's the right player. Expecting arguments. The variable name is the melt meteor count. And so that's what we want to set. That's args of 0. We're going to evaluate this double here. We might get our breakpoint now because of this right here. So that part would be really sweet if we got that breakpoint. Let's hit F10.
Fairly confident that breakpoints don't fire when you evaluate.
I just hit F10 on it. I should have totally hit the breakpoint.
That should. Okay.
Should I have? Wait. What are these?
If you hit F10 and
So this is super curious. Why?
that's something within that or whatever it trips into is wrong.
Hold on. So if we come down here and we put in num melt meteors descend as just a string. I forget if I put the quotes around. It looks like I did. That comes back at 6. And it did not even ask me a question on it. How did that get to 6? And why isn't it getting it from the state? It's not getting it from the state. It's as if our expression evaluator is caching results. How dare you?
Even if it was caching results, we never put that number in there.
Well, maybe we did, but that's stunning to me. So now we're at this right here is crazy stunning.
Yeah.
I don't get that at all. Why would our evaluator not come in here and get to here? And we can go look at our set function and we can see, yeah, we're just going to go and set state. We don't get anywhere else. Yeah. So we just get into set state. It does not make sense to me. The evaluator should come in. It shouldn't know that that's 6, and I don't even get how it thinks that that's 6. I'm now at I'm at a point where I'm like, what is going on? Now we're at get value for Melf meteor count, which has now changed to 0. I'm going to change it to 6. Oh, can I change this? Looks like I'm double clicking on it, but I can't change the value here. Can I change it here? No, didn't like that. Okay. Looks like I can't change that. Yeah. I'm just going to make magic happen. Wait, did we get the 6 out of there? Yeah, there it is now. I'm like a little stunned, and I feel like I have to stop and think about this for a second to figure out why we are not coming back in and getting it. That was like the strangest thing.
On that topic,
I hear you,
I'm
Rory.
closing out 2 hours now.
Yeah,
And
I'm
it's
like
killing me because I want to know the answer to this.
Yeah, I think this is one of those problems where I'm going to need to step away from the machine, I think, for a little bit and figure this out is what I'm going to need to do. I need to think about this, and I don't know what this is. I'm going to end the show myself here is what I'm going to do. Rory, thanks so much, buddy.
Always a pleasure, my friend.
Yeah,
Always.
I appreciate that you're
And
here with us.
frustrating though this is, it has been fascinating at the same time.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I'd like to continue, but I'm also like my intuition says step away. So Roy, we'll say goodbye to you. I'm going to forward these kids on to somebody else, and we'll go send you over to InstaFluff, I think. Always fun to say hi to him. And I'm going to think about this, and hopefully tomorrow we'll do this. And Roy, you're not going to be here tomorrow, right?
No, but if I can possibly do so, I will watch because I want to know the answer.
All right.
I'm on like a low connection on a train or something.
Yeah. So thanks everybody for watching. We will catch you. I'll catch you tomorrow, and we'll see Rory next Tuesday.
Will do. See you then.
All right, kids. We'll see you.
All right, bud. See you then. Bye.